Okay, we're recording.
All right, thanks for jumping on, guys. I know everyone's busy, but these calls are important, especially in Coach Basics, as you're getting started. With your business and answering questions, and it's kind of a direct, I'm going to say 1v1, 2v2 coach line for you to work with Rose and I, or any of the other leaders that jump on to any of your calls. So I just want to give you a little bit of background of how I became a coach. My name is Courtney. It probably comes up still as Bertos on my thing, but I did get married last year, so it's different. But so I started drinking Shakeology actually almost 3 years ago in April, and drank it for about 6 months. Had no idea there was a coach opportunity available, or even that I could get my Shakeology at a discount, and really just needed something for vitamins and minerals and fruits and vegetables that I know I wasn't getting in my diet at the time. So I started drinking it and had no direction of how to make it, or to make it properly, or to make it good, and all that stuff. And I had done Insanity before, just borrowing it from my brother and sister-in-law. And again, still knew nothing about a coach opportunity, or at the end of the videos, maybe just ended it so quickly that I didn't pay any attention to that advertisement at the end. So fast forward about 6 months of drinking Shakeology, a friend of mine was posting about T25 coming out. And I knew I already loved Shanti and his workouts. And now to get it at half the time, I was like, okay, tell me more. And that friend I reached out to was Jess Bryson, who's one of the leaders in our group, who wasn't the person who started me on Shakeology to begin with. So Jess and I messaged back and forth a little bit about T25 and about Shakeology, and she explained to me about getting my Shakeology at a discount and becoming a coach. So I initially signed up at that point to get my Shakeology discounted to purchase T25, and had no idea what the business was, and had wanted no part of it, mostly because I had no background in business. I'm a high school Spanish teacher, and I love fitness. I've been an athlete my entire life. I was a collegiate field hockey player, still play and coach at the high school level. But being my own boss, or being an entrepreneur, was something that never jumped out to me, because I just thought, how could I do that if I have no background in business, and I have no knowledge of network marketing or anything of the sort? So this was around November, just over 2 years ago. And at the time, I was in between coaching field hockey and basketball, and I was able to spend a lot of time with my brother and sister-in-law. And my first nephew was about 1.5, and my second nephew was about to be born that November. So they live close enough that I would go over there after school. Like I said, I was in between sports and spent a lot of time helping them with their first son and getting ready for the second baby. And then the second baby was born, so I was still able to do that. And then basketball started at the end of November, and I was just devastated to have to give up that time with my family, and to leave those, the kids, and not be there every day as I was for a few consecutive weeks. But I desperately needed the income. I love coaching. I coached field hockey, basketball, and softball. But at the time, I was so deep in credit card debt. I had bought a house. Now it's coming up on 7 years ago. I put myself through a master's program. And I just kind of didn't save, or didn't plan ahead to pay off the credit card as it was coming in. And being a teacher, I wasn't fully working in the summer. I was just kind of doing odd end camps and stuff to meet the mortgage bill and pay the bills and stuff, so that I can get by. So credit card debt started adding up like uncontrollably. And I needed some other source of income to kind of just, at that point, I'm not even going to say get me out of the hole, because I just needed some sort of light at the end. of the tunnel. So I agreed, and I talked with Jess, and I got all this information, and I said, all right, let me get started. So by the end of that year, by December, I was going full force, and I just found something that lit a fire inside me. And I just, like I said, I've always been passionate about fitness, and health and wellness, and now adding in this nutrition aspect that was helping me personally and giving me a platform to help others reach their own fitness and health goals, and then build a team and help them reach their own financial goals, was just a platform I didn't even know I was looking for, but it was lighting something inside me. So if you fast forward just over those 2 years, with my Beachbody income and with my husband's Beachbody income, I was able to take him to Disney World. He had never been there, where we eventually got engaged down on that weekend. We were able to pay for part of our wedding, which was huge, and not coming away last summer with more debt than we already had. And now really, seeing a light at the end of the tunnel is like an understatement, because I'm telling you're going to see in a couple months, I'm pregnant and I'm due in April, and I'm going to pay off this last credit card. This is almost $30,000 of credit card debt that in just over 2 years is going to be paid off completely. And yes, now my husband lives here, and on top of that, he went through the State Police Academy. We were on one income for 6 months, and we were able to get by only because of what this business opportunity has brought to us. So, I'm very grateful for so many things. Obviously, the financial aspect, being accountable to my own health and fitness goals, and meeting these incredible like-minded people who, like I said, I didn't even know I had this vacancy like in my gut or in my heart that is just filled by this business. And I will be credit card debt free in the next few months. And that's just something that if you work toward, if that's one of your goals, one of your why, stick to it and let it hit home, because that's something that's going to drive you, as you go through this business. So like I said, that's how I got started and got the ball rolling. And now I just, at some point, this will be my full-time career. That's on the vision board somewhere, and it's going to happen. So, we welcome you to the team. We're really excited for all of you, and can't wait to see your stories and your journeys evolve as ours have.
I love when you say that, Courtney. You're like, well, I'm like right there. I'm right.
Watch, I'm going to be on this call right before this baby is due. 9 months pregnant. I'll be like, deuces up.
I can see like your eyes start getting watery. I'm like, ah!
Just wait until it happens. I'm going to be bawling.
That's crazy. That's awesome. So, hi everyone. I'm Rose. If you guys don't know me, I am Rose Smith, and just like Courtney said, I got married before we started doing Zoom, so my last name's different. But for those of you that don't know me, I started as a coach 3 years ago. Prior to being a Beachbody coach, I was an athletic trainer at a high school, and I was absolutely hating what I was doing. I always thought that like you had to go to school, get good grades, have a long-term career, work until you're 60. Then you could be happy with a pension plan if you get it, and then enjoy your life. But I kind of felt like during my career as an athletic trainer, it was burning me out. And I didn't feel like that enthusiasm for it anymore. I didn't feel like I was having a purpose anymore. I felt like I was just kind of going through the motions of life because I had to get that weekly paycheck. And of course, with those feelings of hating what I was doing, I wasn't taking care of myself. And being an athletic trainer, I wasn't being very athletic and just, kind of eating crap, drinking, when I came home after work, just because I hated what I was doing all day long. So I finally realized at a Super Bowl party, and it will be my 3-year anniversary coming up really soon of when I became a coach. But I was at the Super Bowl party, was eating a ton of crap, and I finally noticed that I had a muffin top. And I was like, sitting on one of those high bar stool chairs because I just felt so awful. And I was like, oh my God, like it's really there. I actually have one of those muffin tops. And that was a big aha moment for me, just because I always would fake myself out and lie to myself like, oh, like no one can really have a six-pack ab, or, what they do on the magazines, they just Photoshop that. So I would always kind of like lie to myself like, oh, no one's supposed to, be perfect. Like they're not perfect, but you get what I'm saying. So I knew that was a big like changing point for me. And I remember my brother telling me about this program that he did called Insanity. It was a workout program from home. And I remember seeing the infomercials and thinking, that thing is crazy. How could I possibly do it? But at the time, I was working 6 days a week. I worked like late nights with football games, wrestling tournaments, you name it. Like I was pretty much living at the school. So I couldn't go to a gym. I had to do it from home. So I would wake up a half hour early, get Insanity workout in, and be on with my day. So I did the workout program. It's a 2-month program, 60 days, and I lost 30 pounds. And I thought, this is insane. How could I lose 30 pounds in my little 5x5 living room in my condo on the second floor? Like it just blew my mind, because I've always been around athletes, and I was always athletic when I was growing up. And to think like I got in the best shape of my life from a workout DVD, I'm like, why didn't someone tell me this before? Why were people lying to me and telling me I had to, do the treadmill for an hour and, be at the gym for an hour and a half and like do all these things and take up so much of my time when I could just been at home and getting my workout in 30 minutes. So I finally went on to teambeachbody.com because I didn't buy the program from a coach. I actually bought it off of Amazon, and I didn't get any help. I didn't get a coach. I didn't get a challenge group. I just did it on my own. But I finally went on to teambeachbody.com because I wanted to see what else was out there. I wanted to see what this free coach had to offer to me, because as coaches, we get free customers that sign up with the free membership online, or people that purchase through the infomercials. So I got connected with my coach, and she told me about another workout program I could do. She told me about Shakeology. And then she mentioned coaching. And I thought, man, this lady, she is trying to get me. She's trying to like wheel me into something and trying to make me spend all my money. But I knew I needed something healthy to eat, because I still didn't change my diet the best that I could. So I was, doing research on something that I could have on the sidelines of like the football games. And when I was like at wrestling tournaments, I couldn't be like shoving dinner down my face, but I could be drinking something. So it really worked for me. And then with the coaching aspect, in the back of my mind, I was like, as crazy as this sounds, as much as I don't know this lady from anyone, like she was from Massachusetts, I'm from New Jersey, because Beachbody just randomly assigns you a coach. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know what if this could be it? Like, what if this could be the thing I'm looking for? Because I always felt like I should be doing more for my life. I just felt like I had a different purpose, and I just didn't know what it was yet. So I thought the worst thing that could possibly happen with being a coach is I can get my Shakeology at a discount, and I could just become healthier and improve on myself if that's the worst thing that happens. So I kind of was like, you know what, let me just do this and see what happens. So that was 3 years ago. And in October, I was able to leave my full-time job as an athletic trainer, able to make double of what I made. I got paid a teacher salary. So now I'm making double as a Beachbody coach. We also bought a brand new home that we built in Cape May, same time in October. So October was a busy time for us. And of course, those things are great. And hearing that from a complete stranger, you're like, oh, like that's nice. But that seems so far out there. But what I want to tell you guys is that if you have that vision that you want that and you put the time into this, this business will let you reach all of those goals: physical, financial, spiritual, freedom, having like-minded people around you. Like I had no idea who Courtney was before any of this. And now we go on vacations together, and like, we're really close friends. Like, we know so much about each other. So it really will change every aspect of your life. You just have to, my number one tip for new coaches is just be consistent and be here a year from today. And you will see that each year it gets better and better and better. And of course, you're going to have struggles just like anything new. You really just have to kind of take that deep breath and kind of push through. Because in the beginning, it's going to seem overwhelming. You're going to be confused, like, what's a weak leg and a strong leg? And what's this whole like craziness about it? You just have to kind of push through that and see. And that's why we kind of have you do your why in the beginning of Coach Basics, so you know what you're pushing for. And I kind of asked a lot of you to kind of dig a little bit deeper with your why. And that's why I have you do that, because when people tell you no, you're going to get so many no's. But when you get to see that picture of your why, then those no's are going to be worth it. Those no's, you're going to keep going because your why is so strong enough. So my big thing also for new coaches is just to start. You're not going to be perfect at this. You're going to make a ton of mistakes, and we've all made mistakes, me and Courtney, but this business is about failing forward, meaning making the mistakes, seeing what you can do better next time for it. So not just, a lot of people will go into Coach Basics and they'll read stuff, but they'll never comment. They won't show up on the calls. They won't show up on team calls, and they kind of are watchers. They watch everything. They're trying to soak up in the information, but there's no action going on. There's no posting on social media. There's no talking to friends about it. So if you're just watching, you're going to stop before you even start. So just start talking to people. And, Sarah was on our team call last night, and she mentioned that someone reached out to her, and she talked to someone, and yeah, she made a little bit of mistakes, but that was a great learning example from her. And now next time her conversation is going to be better. And then the conversation after that, it's going to be better. So it's just about taking that first step, taking that first action, and just doing it. Do you have anything you wanted to add, Courtney, before I keep?
Yeah, I mean, it's so true that, everyone has done it. Everyone has made the mistakes. And even, where Rose and I sit right now, it's not to say that we're still not making mistakes, but that's teaching us what's working and what's not. And that's helping us grow as coaches. And this is one business where you can earn as you learn, and you have to put yourself out there. And sometimes it's really uncomfortable. That's usually the biggest reward, or the biggest payback, is those times that it's uncomfortable. And, I remember the first few times that I spoke with somebody about it, I was like the freaking Energizer Bunny, spatting out stats and info. And they're like, okay, crazy lady. And you just don't know. You're just so excited and so passionate about it that you're like, I just need to tell you every detail of every product and every shake and how to make, as you go on. But you learn through Coach Basics, and you learn through different training groups and team calls, and what has worked for people before you and what doesn't. And it's taking all the training, because you can listen to every single call, all the wake up calls, watch YouTube videos. But if you don't put those plans into action, it doesn't mean anything. And with Rose saying that there's a lot of watchers, and it's fine to soak up and learn the information, but it's what you do with that information that's going to change your business and change your life and help you reach those goals. So it is a business of action. And, in sports, and to give you an analogy, I always joke to my softball players, softball or baseball is like a game of failure. You play basketball, and if you go 3 for 10 from the foul line, you're terrible. If you go 3 for 10 up at bat in baseball or softball, you're hitting 300. You're doing well. This business is a business of failure. You're going to reach out to 10 people, and you might get 7, 8, 9 no's, but you get one yes, that person trusts you and that person is looking to you, and you have the opportunity to help change their life and turn it around somehow. And so maybe you get 1 out of 10 saying yes. So you reach out to 10 more and you get 2 out of 20. And don't look at it like, oh, I only got 2 people, because those people are trusting you in this process, and those numbers start to build as people are watching you. Carry on.
No, I think that was great about the whole baseball thing, because I always tell people, like, in school, and I think just in life in general, you're taught to kind of like, you have to be perfect at everything. Like, you have to get an A+, you have to get a 4.0, you have to do everything like absolutely perfect or else you suck. But in this Beachbody world, like, you will have more failures than successes, but still be a really great coach, still earn a really great income. So for example, like, I tell people, I think my first customer that I had was a month after I became a coach, and she didn't get a challenge pack. She just got a workout. I mean, the first time I had like a coach, like, I signed my husband and my mom up for discount coaches to get me to Emerald. But it took me at least like a good, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months to get my first like coach that wants to do the business. And I'm not saying, you know, that that's bad or that's good, but I'm just saying, like, you know, some coaches want that right away, but it might not come right away. So that's why I always talk kind of about consistency and just showing up every single day, because eventually it's going to come. And then once you get one coach, then that's going to, you know, that's going to build your confidence. And you're going to say, okay, like, I have one person, like a business builder, that wants to do this. And then you're going to kind of project that confidence, like, in your posts and when you're talking to people. And then you're going to attract somebody else. So if you really kind of, like, I'm all into kind of like manifesting and kind of attracting those people into your life, because what you think is what happens. So there was what was the book I'm reading lately? It's called the 10x effect, the 10 times effect. But what he talks about in the book is that, you know, whatever you are putting out there is what you're going to receive back. So some people are such, you know, those Debbie Downers, those negative people. They're like, my life sucks, I am so unlucky. Well, and you do look at them and you're like, man, they have had some bad luck. Like, all this bad stuff is happening to them because their mindset is stuck on, my life sucks. Like, I'm the unluckiest person. And they keep getting that stuff in because that's what they're thinking and that's what they're attracting into their life. So if you can kind of make that mindset shift, and that's why we do a lot of personal development with Beachbody. That's why it's one of the 3 vital behaviors. Because when I started this business, I was shy, I was negative, I was the complete opposite of what I am today. But to get that, just that mindset shift of thinking more positively, you know, and thinking in your mind right about yourself, and not putting yourself down, and not saying that you're not good enough, and not telling yourself, like, you know, what are people going to think about me? Think about, wow, how many people can I help? Not, well, people think I'm salesy, but how many lives can I change? Who can I give this opportunity to as a gift? Who can I give my challenge group to as a gift? Because you will start to change people's lives. Like, did I ever think that I would help Courtney become debt-free? Like, that would never have been like on my list of things that I would have accomplished in my life. But it's such like a really great feeling to know, like, Courtney did the work, but I was kind of a part of that. Like, I helped her kind of get the train rolling in that. So yeah, like this, I love health and fitness, don't get me wrong, but when you can change someone's life with this opportunity, that is really a special gift you can give to people. So if you kind of change your mindset on giving this as a gift to somebody, and not thinking, well, what are people going to think about me, or I'm not good enough type of stuff. So just kind of have that mindset shift, and you'll get further along a lot quicker in this business.
Yeah, with that, it is a business of service and a business of helping people and paying it forward. And, you know, in my story, I told you that I did sign up as a coach because I needed some sort of other income to supplement coaching all 3 seasons. And yes, that's why I signed up in this credit card debt. But the money that you earn is a direct reflection of the people you help. So you have to just make sure that you're looking at it like Rose just said, how many people can I help? How many people can I pay this forward to? You know, who can really use this in their life, and how can I be that connection, that liaison between, you know, their past failures and now being a success story themselves. And once you take the focus off of how much can I earn, you know, how much can I make, how much money is in my next paycheck, to how many people can I help and pay it forward to, that going along with that mindset really changes what you're doing, how valuable it is, and how there's really nothing else like it out there.
Definitely.
I just wanted to say something.
Yeah.
I think that that's one of the things that I have a fear of, is that when I come across to people, I know it's going to take practice and, you know, I'm brand new, but coming across to people not salesy. Like I am passionate about the product because I mean, at this point, I'm making a commitment to stick it out longer than I ever have. Like I did P90X years ago, Insanity, like all that stuff, and T25, and I brought back the T25, and that's how I started getting going again with it. But when I talk about it, I feel like sometimes I'm, you know, I talk about the product, but I feel like sometimes I sound salesy, and I don't want to sound like that. I want to sound more passionate about like helping people become healthier. So I'm trying to be more aware of that. Like when I post things, and when I, you know, write, like I just worked on today, I worked on my, my announcement of being a Beachbody coach. And I had to like really, it took me a while, and I was actually surprised, because I started out with one thing, and then I had like a revelation, and I was like, wow. And then I started like writing even more. And then like, it took me a little while, but I put my words together, and I was just, I want to try to be aware of how I'm coming across to people. I think it's hard in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that especially in the beginning, you want to focus on sharing your story, where you came from and where you're going. And that's not to say that you're there at your end, and it's not to say that you're going to hit your end at any point. You know, you might hit goals along the way, but it's not like, okay, I hit my goal, I'm done with this program, I'm done. But sharing your story, because people out there are going to relate to that without you even knowing it. Yeah. And part of your story, you know, it could be a struggle of where you came from. It could be, you know, not being able to get to the gym. It could be you needed supplemental income. Whatever it is, your struggles, that's part of your journey. And there are so many people who don't post about it, but relate to all of those things. And that's how you want to gear your posts, especially in the beginning. It's sharing that journey and inviting people along that journey with you. Yeah. And, you know, and then as you get more comfortable in the conversations and stuff, and post them in the group as you're having conversations with people, and they start asking you questions, and you don't want to come off, you know, like, okay, well, Insanity is on. So, you know, you don't want to come across like that. Post it in the group, and we'll give you feedback on how to respond without sounding like a salesperson, and really getting into their goals and what they want to achieve with the program or whatever. And how to, I'm going to use the word manipulate, how to spin that to then turn it into, this would be perfect for you because A, B, and C. You told me you've been skipping breakfast for the last year because you don't have time. Shakeology, perfect.
Right.
You told me you're hitting the 3 o'clock, those kind of things. So think about those constant objections or those constant reasons of why you're doing it, and just sharing that with people instead of being like, okay, there's a sale on this program. And
yeah. Well, I always, like when I was talking to my best friend about it, and like I always, like with my first reason for doing it, it's just because I want to be more accountable, because I have a habit of doing something and falling off. So like I'll do it for the first month and then I'll fall back. And then like I'll be like, I get comfortable and I'm like, all right, I lost a little weight. I can see a little difference. And I'm starting to get at that point now, because now it's like even though the scale hasn't really moved, I've started to notice I feel stronger. You know, like my clothes are starting to fit me a little bit different. I'm like, okay, like something's happening. I can see it's slow, but something is happening. And then like, that's kind of where I start falling off. So for me, like doing this, my first initial thing was I got to keep myself accountable. Like I have to push myself. And I feel like if I'm responsible for motivating other people, I would probably be able to keep myself on track and keep myself like down the right path. That was the first. And then like after that, like going through the process so far, I've like realized there are other things as well, but like that was my first initial like, okay, this is why I'm going to do this.
Especially at this time of year, think about how many people set New Year's resolutions and probably aren't going to the gym right now.
Yeah.
Or how many people have started something or said, I'll wait till Monday, I'll start it on Monday. That could be your hook, line, and sinker, you know, for right now for your story, because it's happened to you and you can relate to it, and you'll be able to empathize with them and be like, okay, look, you know, I'm at that point that I'm ready to quit. I know what it's like to quit. You know, I'm not going to let it happen this time. Let's do this together.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And I think the good thing too is you're aware of it. And I tell this to coaches a lot of the time, when you, especially on Facebook, like you don't have to message people right away. Like they're not going to run away from you. So when you do get a message, like just have that awareness of like, okay, I'm going to take a deep breath and all right, let me think about what I'm going to respond to, instead of just like typing it out as you're thinking it. And then you hit send and you're like, crap, I just thought of something else. Cause I sometimes do that too. Like I'm so excited and I just hit that enter. I'm like, man, I wish I could have done it a different way. But having that awareness and just taking that moment or two to kind of regroup and you know, you don't have to get back to people that very second. And the second thing is the personal development book, GoPro, that we want you to read or listen to.
Yeah.
It's really going to kind of help you have that mind shift change of going from salesy to helping people.
I was rewriting some of my notes that I took the other day, and I was just doing that before we got on the call. The GoPro sound, it's the SoundCloud. Is that something like an app on the phone? I have an Android, or I have a Samsung. Yeah, Android, I guess. Is that something?
I have Apple, or I have an iPhone, so I can get SoundCloud. I think you can probably get it on Android. If not, you can always do like Amazon.
Yeah.
SoundCloud, or I'm sorry, Amazon has
a Kindle or whatever.
Yeah, they have another like an audio app or like a book app that you can download, or you can, you know, get like the hardcover stuff of books too.
Okay.
Cool.
I think you could even find audio on like YouTube of that book.
Sometimes they do have the free of that.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's by chapter or if it's like just the whole thing sequentially, but you know, that's always another option.
Okay, thanks.
Amy, did you have any questions or comments?
Unmute yourself.
Yeah, she's
there we go. Am I there?
Yes.
I hate myself on video and audio.
You'll get used to it. Don't worry.
No, I mean, I'm just really, really excited. I actually, Leia and I have been going back and forth for a while, and I was so excited about it. I was putting it off a little bit because I had a doctor appointment today that I was really super stressed about. And I thought, I can't really fully give myself to this until I figure out what's happening in the doctor appointment. And I got really good news today. So as soon as I walked out of the office, I messaged Leia. I said, okay, I'm all in. I'm ready to go. Let's get my challenge group date. I'm excited. I'm ready. So I'm actually kind of anticipating that I'm going to have a good following. I'm just kind of getting the vibe. I'm a teacher. I'm involved in the school PTA. I run the local Cub Scout unit. I feel like I have a lot of followers that know me personally, and they've all kind of seen me on my journey so far, even though I just started in November. So I'm fingers crossed. I'm hopeful that, once I put something out there, I actually haven't put anything on Facebook about anything I've been doing. So I'm kind of excited to see kind of what happens when I finally put it out there. And I'm thinking that people are going to be excited and want to join me. So we'll see. That's it.
Those are awesome, like, connections that you have. So definitely make it a point to, like, have your Shakeology bottle, even if it's just of water, or a t-shirt of a program you completed or something, so that you're wear and share, and just kind of, without being a walking billboard, it's part of you now. Like the Beachbody programs and the Beachbody lifestyle is part of you, so that people are like, oh, that that insanity, I've seen that infomercial, that kind of thing. And it's just a conversation starter.
Yeah. When I went into the doctor's today, I had my water, my Shakeology thing, and I put it down on the counter when I was checking in, and the receptionist is like, oh, are you doing Shakeology and stuff like that? And I was so nervous about the appointment, but I wanted to kind of like hook her in and saying, oh, I'm going to do a 21-day fix program. But I couldn't quite get myself there because my head was in another place. So then when I was coming out of the office, I was like, oh, I'm going to go find her, and I'm just going to let her know that, this is what I'm planning on doing. And then she wasn't there anymore. So I even thought to myself, oh, maybe next week I'll drive back and see if she's still interested. So, but I'm definitely finding as I'm walking around with, like, I go everywhere now with my Shakeology. So people are always asking and stuff like that. So
awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm happy that your doctor's appointment went great, and
Thank you.
That's awesome. That's such a good feeling, just to have that weight lifted off of your shoulders.
Yeah, and I think that's even going to be like part of my coming out, where like this year I'm really dedicating to my own journey and my own self, and I'm taking care of things that I had been putting off for a while. Not only my health, just my health and doctor appointments and everything. I'm just, everyone's always saying new year, new you. So, this is what I'm doing, and hopefully people want to join me with that.
No, I love that. I think that's great. And I think that's a really great statement to make about your story, is there's so many different pieces to your story. You don't want to blurt it out all at once. Like, you want to kind of do like snippets here and there. So on Facebook, you're almost like giving people like a chapter by chapter kind of thing. And you're kind of, I don't like to say sucking, you're not sucking them in, but they, it's like a good book. They start reading it and they want to continue. And then they want to like see your post every single day, and they, search for you on Facebook, and they're like, oh, I want to see what she's up to today, because like I'm so interested in, what's going on in her life and that kind of stuff. So with all like your teachers and PTA and that, like, we want you to add like 5 people per day on Facebook. So getting all those people into your network on Facebook so they can, see what you're doing. And then, when you're face to face with them, they already kind of know what's going on, and they already kind of, you go right from there, like, you don't have to explain anything. You're having Facebook and your posts and, bits of your story to kind of share that with people, to explain that.
That's cool.
All right, ladies, anything else for tonight?
I actually do have a question. I'm going to be that girl with all the questions all the time.
Sarah, I just knew it. But I love you for it.
Okay, good. Okay, so I don't know if I should be thinking about this yet or not, but like the whole challenge group, like you guys always do these free challenge groups. I don't know a lot about it. I just know like what I see, like what I've seen Lisa do, on people's pages where they're like, oh, come, join me, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm trying to like pick up different ideas, but I don't know a lot about it. And like, when should I be like brainstorming this now, or like give me some info?
Yeah, start brainstorming. What are we at? February 3rd. So like you want to think about end of February, maybe beginning of March if you're going to put it off that long, so that you give yourself, what I like to do is 2 weeks of like time to promote it and time to share about it or to invite and that kind of thing.
So when like say I'm like, okay guys, I'm gonna do T25, like, well, a T25 challenge group. Like, what is it? Like, what am I doing? Am I doing like a month of the program? Am I doing like 2 weeks of it? Like, am I saying, who wants to join me? And then they get on board by purchasing a challenge pack or something. Like how, like I kind of know little things, but
you could do it a couple different ways. You could pick a program specifically, 21 Day Fix, T25, whatever program. And then and promote it specifically for that. You could pick a 30-day challenge group. And people can pick whatever program matches their goals and matches their lifestyle. And once they get their challenge pack, they're in it and they're committed for those 30 days. Because then the 30 days that really covers, 21 Day Fix, they go one extra week. Insanity Max 30, that's the first month. T25, that's the first month. P90X is the first month. And that is, and what you could do is, if those people are in one of those longer programs, is you can roll them into your next challenge group to keep them going also. It just gives you a wider range of, if you just do T25 with it not being on sale, or if you have a strong following for it already, then go for it. For me, it's just worked out to do one per month, like for 3 to 4 weeks. And people, I match them up with a program that fits their goals once I go through all the, like, a series of questions and figuring out where they want to be and what they want to achieve. T25 isn't for everyone, so I don't want to like lock someone in or lock someone out because they don't want to do that. But that's up to you. If you have a strong following for that, by all means do it. When we have a new program coming out, we typically do like a big challenge group for the team. And you can always plug them into there. If you have somebody who specifically wants to be in a PIO group, you can post it in the team page and be like, is anyone running a PIO group, and that kind of thing, and just kind of link up with other people. And then in the challenge group, we have challenge group guides in the Coach Online office. And not that you have to go by that script like day by day, but it gives you an idea, and it varies your posts between Shakeology, the workouts. Can you see Rose's screen?
Yeah. Oh, she's always on point with these screen shares.
So it can literally take you through all different things, and you kind of get a feel for your group at the same time of what they need more of, or what, when I was starting, I really stuck to the challenge group guides, and then have kind of evolved as it went on, and just to kind of see what, like I said, what my group needs, or you add competitions and prizes. And I think we're kind of in the process as a team, just putting together like different templates that people are using to help newer coaches. So you can always use that.
Okay.
So those challenge group guides are in your Coach Online office. And you go to Sales and Marketing, Beachbody Challenge, click on it, and then Beachbody Challenge group guides.
Okay.
And then every single program we have you'll see daily coaching guide, coach starter guide, participant starter guide.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
There's one, Focus T25 daily coaching guide.
So it gives you like something to go by, because I kind of feel like I kind of feel lost with the challenge groups. I don't really know what I will be doing. I don't know like how I'm putting things together. Like I see things here and there, and I hear things a little bit about it, but I don't want to I don't want to say fall behind, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to like not be on my game and not be like trying to figure things out. So I'm kind of listening and watching and seeing what other people post and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, our goal by the end of this training, either by next week's call or by, I think it's one of our last posts as a group is, okay, everyone state your start date for your challenge group if you're teaming up with someone. So just to give you an idea, that would be like 2 weeks from today. We'll be saying like, okay, here's your accountability. When is your group starting?
Yeah. So basics will be kind of progressing you towards starting your own challenge group. So I think it's a good idea to kind of think about it now, but you don't have to worry that you have to start it like tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. So like I would think about it now, and then when I do the challenge group, am I just posting on my page like how's everybody doing, or how does that like the communication with people work, and keeping them accountable as well, like by posting? Is that what's gonna like show everybody I'm accountable, like I'm doing this, like here I am? Or
you can post like the one that right there, that's day 2. So like that's an icebreaker, like things that have them interact.
Okay.
Questions, have them post a picture, if you have like Water Wednesday or Workout Wednesday, and like post a selfie or post a picture of their water that they're drinking or post a picture of their meal. Like this post, if you did your workout, comment below when you're going to do your workout. Something that is interactive, and sometimes you get people that are really quiet and that are following along, those watchers, but they're still participating in the group. They just might not be as active.
Okay.
So you keep posting, because they might just be reading everything and taking it all in and still doing their workouts and everything. They're just not posting publicly in it, but you want to be posting every single day.
And so is the point is to be like, hey, come join my group, but then they're gonna, I guess if do they do their own exercises, or are they gonna like, is it to get them to say, okay, what are you doing? Because it sounds like a good workout, and look into a challenge pack. Is that how like it kind of segues, or?
So it depends if you're promoting a specific program. Okay. So let's say, I'm just going to like pull up a calendar. Let's just say you're going to start your challenge group at the end of February 29th. Okay. And you start posting like next Monday or next Sunday night to invite, here's my start date. A start date makes them commit to something. Okay. And people who are like, yeah, I'm interested, sure. And they put it off. A date gives them a deadline. And what we typically do is have like a preseason week before it officially starts to just get to know everyone in the group. This is the equipment you need. Put your calendar in your fridge. Go food shopping. And like at this point, you could take meal plans from the team page. You can help provide them with the tools to be successful in the group. And then so if you're posting and you're inviting and, you want to say, let's just say 30-minute workouts. We have the 21-day fix, P90X3, T25, Insanity Max 30, almost all of PiYo that fall into 30-minute, workouts, that once someone is like, okay, I'm interested, what do I need to do? That's when I would ask them a series of questions that helps me narrow down which program would be best for their lifestyle and their goals. If someone has really bad knees and can't jump around, I would, point them to 21-day fix or PiYo based on that. If someone, you know, really just wants to get a good sweat and doesn't have a lot of equipment, I would put them to T25, Insanity Max 30 stuff. That's all body control. So from those questions and getting to know their goals and their limitations and what equipment they have and things like that, it helps narrow down for me what's best for them. So then I can say, okay, I've narrowed it down. I've picked T25. You know, if I send you this short video, would you be able to watch it this weekend? And then they watch and they're like, okay, I think I can do that. And then you go with that route for them.
So we have video links that we can send people?
Oh, yeah.
And then in the videos, like, I know there's a video tab up there in the Beachbody.
Yes. So in your Coach Online office, on the page down at the bottom right, it's video library. That's going to be your best friend.
Okay.
So instead of you being like, well, T25 is 25-minute workouts and it varies and there's 5 weeks of alpha and there's 5 weeks of beta, and you introduce, instead of you saying all that, you go into products and then you find whatever program it is. And when you play the video, that little share button down at the bottom, it automatically comes up as I'm like pointing to the screen like you can see me. It comes up as your page. So then you just copy that link and you send that video to them. We call it a third party tool, and that'll be in GoPro as you're listening and reading it, is that it takes it out of your hands of having to say everything and Beachbody vomit all over them. It gives you that third party tool that does a lot of the talking for you. So with that video, they could never contact you again, never follow up with you, but they could still order and you would get credit for it because it's linked to your site.
Awesome.
Okay. And then, you know, obviously if you said, you know, would you watch it this weekend? They're like, yeah, sure. Over the weekend, you're like, hey, just checking in, make sure, you know, see if you still have time this weekend to watch the video. Can't wait to see what you think about it or whatever.
Right. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
You're welcome. Did I miss anything on that, Rose? I mean, challenge groups can get overwhelming at first.
They sound like it a little bit.
But
it's just a new idea. It's a new concept.
Yeah.
Right.
But like Rose said, like through Coach Basics, working on those conversations and getting your story out there and announcing to people that you're a Beachbody coach, that's going to have people watching you so that when you do post that invite in a couple weeks, that people are like, it's not so random. It's like, oh, okay, she's a Beachbody coach. Let me see more about it. That kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like you're piecemealing things together. So like you're learning about this, and then that, like what we're learning about today and tomorrow is going to connect to, you know, next week, and everything's going to kind of build upon each other.
And when do you think it's appropriate to use my Beachbody link?
Only at the very end when they're like, yes, I'm ready. I don't.
Don't put it on like your posts, like click below.
That's why I want to ask, because I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I've seen other people do it so far, but I know it's there. I just don't want to use it not inappropriately, but at the wrong time.
Yeah, don't put it on your post on Facebook. You're only going to give them that link once they are ready to make a purchase. And that's after you've asked them a million bajillion questions, after you sent them the video, and when they're ready to commit.
Okay. All right.
Cool. All right, ladies, I have a call at 9, so we're going to say goodbye for now, and then we'll have same time next week. So next Wednesday, 8 o'clock will be our next Coach Basics call. Our next team calls on Tuesday. So I know we do have like call Tuesday for the team and call Wednesday for Coach Basics, but you'll definitely start to pick up on a lot of things with being on the call. So very helpful.
Especially these ones for you guys, because it's a little bit smaller and direct, and you have like this chance to ask all these questions and stuff. And if you think of other things, just post them in the group later.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, bye, guys.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye. You too.